Winnebago 2108 DS, dinette slide, Murphy bed, tandem axle, narrow body, very lightweight, well-built couples camping little dream machine here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. If you like any of those words that I just laid out on this thing, then I think you're going to like what you see in this camper in its entirety. I do want to mention while we're out here, we've got a good look at this beautiful, rich blueberry skin over here. And the camper that we have in stock might look like this. It might not. There are multiple different exterior color options and a couple different interior decor options available on the Winnebago family. That's part of what makes them cool. And we know that not everybody's going to want blue. Not everybody's going to want red or platinum or whatever other color. We always like knowing what your favorite color is. Certainly sound off in the video comment section, let us know that. But keep in mind that this video is just kind of general information on this product and this layout here at Haylett RV. So let's take a step inside. So a quick look at her in travel storage mode with the lights off and the slide closed. This, you know, if it's parked next to the garage and you pop inside real quick, or if you're traveling down the road, you pop your head in, this is what it's going to look like. And it's one of the best aspects of this camper. You can fully access the entire camper, get to all the kitchen, the refrigerator, the bathroom, and something else that Winnebago Murphy beds do is their Murphy beds are designed to be accessible in transit. It's not all Murphy beds can do that. So if you are long distance traveling, if you're doing a lot of traveling and you just want to bed down real quick, you can always get to the bed in a Winnebago Murphy bed model. Now, it was really always the lighter interior and the very different exterior look that caught our initial attention when Winnebago came a-calling. You know, we were a very well-established dealer when we picked up Winnebago. They really don't have a lot of unique floor plans you can't find anywhere else. When we started looking at them, though, they offered something that you couldn't find anywhere else, and that was just, it just looked different. And then, thankfully, after we did you know, shake hands and start doing business with Winnebago, we were very pleasantly surprised to find out that they are exceptionally well built. Statistically speaking, Winnebagos have the lowest instance of warranty claim compared to anything else here at Haylett RV. Now, there's some other very good products out here. Passports, Apexes, Rockwoods in general generally do very well. These guys are just, they're in an absolutely sterling category. So, especially in a smaller camper, the lighter colors, I think, are really critical because they open this thing up and they make it look and feel not so small. Now, in addition to the lighter colors, you're also going to find, you know, where they spent a lot more money on things like giant windows in here to give you more light and more airflow. This is absolutely a product I call in the premium category. Some people, now it's very obvious on the outside with all that really shiny exterior skin that we'll talk about when we get out there, that this isn't just a common ultralight. But when you get inside, some people have said, well, it looks a little bit plain. It's completely by design. This is not intended to be that over-the-top, in-your-face, shiny, waxy-looking, pretend high-end ultralight. The difference here is really in the execution and the materials. Like I said, bigger windows. If you start doing the wedding ring test, you'll hear nicer hardwood fascia as opposed to like MDF foam fascia. If you lift up the dinette stuff here, you're going to see all plywood. You notice we are completely carpetless, even in the slide floor. That is an area I see so many little campers screw up. They'll be completely carpetless here, and then they throw a chunk of carpet right there, right where the food and the drinks are likely to fall if you do have a spill or something like that. So, looking more at the business end of this camper, this is a Murphy bed model. So it's kind of like having two campers in one. So before we drop the bed down, one thing I did want to show is me with my long legs and big body and everything. There's plenty of room around this. There's all sorts of headroom behind me. I can tilt my head all the way back and still not like bonk my head on anything. And that's just kind of one of the nice things about this. Like, it kind of spooks some folks that the bed isn't straight vertical. It doesn't have to be straight vertical. It just has to be out of the way, and it is. So, setting this thing up couldn't be much easier. And it's actually got a nice little new safety locking mechanism now, where you can really just kind of yank on this thing and it's not going to go anywhere. But when you're ready to flip it up, there's just a simple little mechanical latch here. That's all it takes. Now, I'll show you a little trick on these. This is a pro tip from your Uncle Josh. Start by lifting up the base, then grab the back side and pull in. And it'll drop itself right down. And you're camping. Now, what's really cool about this, guys, is The Murphy bed on these is designed to ride in the down position. That means the bed has to be able to be accessible with the slide out closed. So let's say you just love this camper, but you don't care about the Murphy bed. Don't use it as a Murphy bed. It's incredible to me. There's so, well, do they make the one with the dinette but without a Murphy bed? It is without a Murphy bed if you don't want it to be a Murphy bed. And that's what's cool about Winnebago's Murphy bed system. It's one of the things I really stressed with them. By including that full pass-through storage actually below the sofa here, but did you notice how it is fully enclosed? It's separated. The outside storage does not bleed into the interior space. You still have a big pass-through storage space. The only thing this Murphy bed might let you do on a rainy day like today, maybe you're getting a little stir-crazy, maybe you're just a little and you need a little more room. You can put the bed away and voila, you open this thing up and you get to enjoy the space and comfort of a super slide without the length, weight, and cost. And that's a good exchange if you ask me. Now before we move on, there are some very good points over here I do want to point out. So you've got the big wide side stands on each side of the sofa. That's something I appreciate because I'm a person where every single time like I get a dinner plate, I always, without fail, I forget either a napkin or a fork or my drink or something in the kitchen. I love that I just have a nice stand here. I can set down a full dinner plate without worrying about it rocking off a sofa rounded armrest. Now when it's in bed sleeper mode, we've got the world's biggest, bestest CPAP side stands over here with both household outlets on both sides and then twin USB plugs over here for device charging and whatnot. All of our windows are going to have the nicer pleated shades, and you even have a full window in the door. Because your kitchen's on this side of the camper, your viewing of the camp side of the camper is limited. So not only did they give you a bigger window here, but they also removed the frosty glass window in the entry door and put a real window in there in addition to the window here in the kitchen area. Now, it used to be in years past, the oven was optional, the stove cover was optional, the sink covers were optional, the countertop extension were optional. They were so heavily demanded that almost everything on this was rolled into the standard package. There are nearly no options even available on this anymore. They're just built correctly right out of the box. That's good news for you guys. Think about if you know someone who bought a truck or a car and they put a cool stereo in it or neat aluminum rims or something. You never get that money back. You don't get your money back out of extras. When something is built into the standard package, though, you get that money out when it comes trade or resale time. That being said, Winnebago's here, they seem to be one of those brands, kind of like a Rockwood, where it's people look at them for retirement grade. If what you're looking for is extremely nice, extremely well executed, and the last one you ever want to buy, but maybe you just don't want a 30, 40-foot trailer or fifth wheel, this is the option here, guys. So in the kitchen, we've got that 6 cubic foot fridge with the extra little storage up top, and that is all pocket screwed cabinetry, by the way. Coming down past that stainless sink, we've got, I already mentioned the sink covers, and you see that extension. Now we've got full plywood boxed and beveled edge drawers there, so not splinter factories, with whatever cabinet space below the countertop line they possibly could put in there. Now, one of the questions people have on these all the time is power outlets. This is not a giant kitchen. This is basically your primary power outlet station. And then if you are interested, there is another set of USB plugs here. I guess maybe you could, set a phone up there. Perhaps you could run a little power cord line through there. I'm not sure what you'd like to do. But you can see that there's also an outlet up there. What I have seen people do, and, maybe you feel like it's a jerry-rig solution, but everybody camps differently. The fact is you can do this. You could easily put a power strip in there and drop the power cord through this little cabinet space and have extra plugs here or drop them down, and I've seen people do that either way. There's a lot of different options you could do to expand that. Oh my gosh, I should have talked about this immediately. They've gone through a slight interior decor renovation at the time of this filming. This camper is so cutting edge at the time of this filming, guys, in terms of the interior decor revisions. I actually texted Adam, who is the Winnebago product manager, the guy who makes the decisions on things, and said, man, I'm really encouraged. I really like how you softened up the interior from the really dark floor that you had before, and that oddball sort of gray ceiling panel that I never felt really matched anything, but I don't judge interior decor decisions because I'm not like a guy who's very good at putting together an outfit. If I didn't have a consistent work attire I had to wear every day, God only knows what I'd look like when I leave the house. But I love this. They really split the medium. The original Winnebago lightweights that we had like a near white floor, near white cabinetry. Everything was white, 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 white. It was a lot. And people would walk in sometimes and go, "Oh, no thank you." I think that they softened this up because last year they went to a dark, dark brown floor and this almost grayish ceiling. This, I think, is that sweet spot, happy medium, where it has that old, light, comfy Winnebago feel without the aggressive, bright, in-your-eye whiteness that it used to have there. DVD, Bluetooth, CD player up there, inside, outside speakers. The TV and all that's now standard. Another one of those things that used to be optional and is now. We already talked about how that is a completely carpetless slide. Now, you notice it is a step-up slide. Has to be. There's no other way to do it here because this is directly above the wheel well. And if you notice when we go outside, the wheel wells kind of, this thing sits so low to the ground, the wheel wells actually protrude up a little bit into the body of the camper. That's very normal, but in bigger campers, manufacturers are able to hide it. In a little camper, they can't. So it does step into the slide out, but it is carpetless, so there's benefits to that too. Now this can fold down into a sleeper. There's storage below the seating, and these windows, by the way. Not only do they have pleated nightshades for privacy, but they all tilt open for rainy day ventilation. On a day like today, it's a big deal. And having a full-size, fully equipped kitchen here in a little camper, in a narrow-body camper, a lot of narrow-body things like the GeoPros, like some of our Apex Nanos, they might not have an oven, they might have a smaller refrigerator, etc. This is a fully equipped, full-feature kitchen. It's a full-feature trailer. It's just compact and well-constructed. Here's another one of those more premium things that's just not flashy and fancy and it's easy to miss. And that is the fact that all of the doorways in Winnebago trailers are fully framed out so that they hold square and they keep their rigidity. So even though the jacks aren't down on this trailer, this door is always going to open and close the way it should and not pop open in transit. Oops, I missed one of the lights here in the bathroom. Check this out. Boop. Okay, in the bathroom. First of all, this big corner shower over here, it does have a radius shower track, so that you can get a little more elbow room up in there, which is nice for a bigger fellow like me. Simple power vent fan, skylight above the shower, but it is a pretty darn nice large shower, and it is fully surround protected. So if you are splashing water around, it's not going to have the potential of water damaging the walls. Now that's actually not, pardon my umbrella down here by the way, it's raining, and I thought, you know what, the shower pan's probably the best place to put that so I'm not dribbling water everywhere. But if you are looking at a camper that does not have shower wall surround paneling, it just has normal wall panels like that, it's not the end of the world, guys. When you're done showering, take a quick towel, wipe it down, it's going to be fine. Stuff doesn't get water damaged from brief, immediate exposure. It gets water damaged by prolonged, neglected exposure. Now, positioning of this toilet in this bathroom is good because there's plenty of legroom in here and a foot flush to keep your nose away from your business coming around the corner. Just like in the kitchen, if you noticed, stainless sink, superior materials. And Winnebagos are still one of the only manufacturers offering first-year roadside assistance, so they're giving you that extra protection that I think you're going to want. Now, starting up top here, you can see the closet storage in this bathroom is tremendous. Big floor-to-ceiling closet. And the bottom door does kind of interfere with the toilet a little bit, but the fact is you can still get in there. It's they might share a little bit of space, but it's not really affecting the use of this camper whatsoever. These little guys right here, because, they're under 4,000 pounds. They're a great couples layout. You've got some guest space. They've got that lighter look. They're smaller, but don't feel smaller, but they're really high class. It's an extremely rare combination of things to find. So like we kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video, these Winnebagos, they have a skin to win. There are 6 or 7 different exterior colors. So if you like everything about this except the blue, chances are we might have a red or a platinum or something else laying around. And again, we're always open to hear, what's your favorite color on these? Now, obviously it needs to be one they offer. There actually was a period years and years ago, they had a pink Winnebago, and some of the proceeds that were donated to breast cancer awareness. Thought that was pretty cool. So, part of the, what I call one of the industry's best Murphy beds, and I'm kind of biased about that again, is how big the pass-through storage becomes as a result. Now, it's not quite as tall as some other ones that I've seen, but it is so much wider than almost any other travel trailer pass-through storage. They've actually added some extra structural rigidity here where they need it. Now, you might see some wooden fascia here for furniture, but the entire RV itself, the roof, the floor, the walls, everything, is a full aluminum skeleton cage. So the idea behind this is to be light and long-lasting. Now, by moving the pass-through storage back a little bit, instead of just in the nose of the trailer to under the sofa, they've kind of done a few good things here. They've improved ride and handling because they've moved the weight a little closer to the axles instead of dead on the tongue of the trailer. Not a major shift here, and this is not the biggest camper in the world. You're not going to have bags of concrete mixed down here. But a lot of times people are looking at a little camper like this because they have towing restrictions, and this helps with towing just that extra little bit. Now, right below us, we do have a simple gas grill quick connect down here, so that is one of those things, if you do feel like doing some grilling, you're going to be good to go. Now, this little guy does not have the longest awning out there, but it has the longest awning that it possibly can. If the awning was longer, it would cover that window, so you have to choose between either having like no window on the campsite of the camper and a bigger awning, and if you notice, that would also interfere with the baggage door down there. So that's just one of those necessary evils. Whereas something like the 2106 FBS, the sofa slide non-Murphy bed version of this, wouldn't have that problem whatsoever. So this is an easy towing little bugger. Tandem axles on a 7.5 foot wide narrow body. And, you know, it's less than 4,000 pounds. That's an awesome combination of features that's extremely hard to find out there. If you have like a tow package SUV or something rated for like 5,500 pounds, this is such a sweet spot target size trailer for you right here. The awning, power, LED lights, has tilt. Tongue jack, power. You notice the propane tanks aren't there. That's because Winnebago actually ships them loose. That's one of those things that we install when they get here. And I actually like that they allow us to do that, because certain weight distribution hitches that some folks like to use can sometimes interfere with the propane tray. They can kind of fight for space. And you're not going to have that challenge here. You know, because we get to set the propane kind of where it needs to be. You've got a simple side mount solar prep over here, magnet catches and slam latches, making getting in and out easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Here, a simple battery disconnect. Not the biggest, you know, feature in the world, but what it does for you. And notice how they even put a nice little ring down there where they run that conduit through the floor instead of just drilling a hole in the floor that you can see. It's not like it changes the trailer. It's my point here is the attention to detail and the cleanliness of execution in the Winnebagos is pretty much unparalleled. But the point behind this, things like your water heater, fridge, your TV, your stereo, they don't turn off. They go into standby. They go into low power mode, not no power mode. So after even a short period of not being used, a normal trailer can actually trickle kill a battery, and you're not going to have that here. Now, to help prevent that, if you are, especially nice if you're boondocking, you got a simple side mount solar prep plug for the silvery solar suitcase systems that you can put on here. Nothing fancy, a lot of campers have those, but it is nice to keep the batteries topped off. Keep in mind, guys, if you turn the battery disconnect off, this isn't doing anything for you because it's not getting to the batteries because the batteries have been disconnected. A lot of people don't quite understand that, so I thought I'd throw that out there. Now, there are different types of slide outs used in the RV business. They're all great in different ways. Schwintek slides are fine. That's what this is. It's called a Schwintek slide. However, if you Google Schwintek slide review, you're going to find a lot of negative press about these guys out there. It is not Lippert's fault. The problem with these things is not the slide-out system. It's how RV manufacturers were willing to use them in a non-recommended way for way, way too long. Schwintek slides are ideal for something like this. A small slide that is light in weight and needs to go straight in and out. This is exactly what they're made for. They're not made for a big, giant fifth-wheeler motorhome kitchen slide. They're made for exactly what we are looking at right here. And what's neat about them is when they are used properly like this, they're extremely reliable and they're self-adjusting. This thing is a rolling earthquake going down the road with hurricane force winds outside. Those are not exaggerations. So what it means, guys, is that slide can kind of jiggle around. If for some reason this slide gets a little jihad and kitty wampus, technical terms, it will self-adjust itself. Every time the slide goes all the way in or out, it'll go through a little adjustment phase, and it'll make sure that the left and the right sides and the top and the bottom motors are all in sync. It's fine when it's used properly like this. Down here, we've got our good-looking wheels with our handy little Winnebago end caps on there, and galvanized steel wheel wells. That's something we see on a lot of our Jayco models. It's a, God forbid, blowout, wheel guard, basically, so that if you do have a problem, it's not so much the tire that we have any sort of problems with. It's if you have debris on the road or something like that. Well, any tire, even those fancy Goodyears like the Jaycos, they can go flat, and you don't want a belted radial bashing up above the wheel well and smashing up the bottom of your slide out. That's a good way. I've seen 3 trailers totaled from an insurance company in my career here because of a tire blowout. So this just gives you that extra shield to get this thing brought down to speed. Another thing on tandem axles, it will make the trailer ride nicer because it's not as inclined to wiggle or bounce or rock around or anything. And again, God forbid you do have a flat tire, you're not one tire on the rim, on the ground. You've got enough of a backup to get this thing brought down to speed. So separate cable and satellite hookups. Winnebagos were one of the first campers I really saw that did that. And I'm seeing more and more campers like our Coachman Freedom Expresses here at Haylitz are starting to do this. Full outside utility shower, simple black tank flush. I love that all the hookup stuff is in one simple corner here. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, you're probably a little surprised by the fact that I haven't talked about the high-strength, low-alloy HSLA steel frame. It's an aircraft-style chassis that is lighter but stronger, and I do believe it's one of the main reasons we have such amazing service records with our Winnebagos here at Haylett RV, because they are basically built on a better foundation. There's nothing wrong with I-beam frames. Like a Coachman Apex has very similar service records, and it's not on this kind of chassis. But it's also a camper that's well constructed at the manufacturing level. Now, this is a little bit new. If you look up below the top marker light up there, you can see that there's a new backup camera prep on here. So if you are looking to keep an eye out behind you, if you're backing into a site or down the road, depending on the variety of camera you get, you're going to be good there. Hope you never need the spare tire, kind of like health insurance. I hope you got it if you do need it. The ladder on the back gives you full access to that fully walkable roof. Remember, all aluminum structure under that decking. We talked about the awning. There are outside TV hookups just above the rear tire back there. Now, it's not a triple step camper. Doesn't need to be. It sits low enough to the ground like we talked about inside, but they do still put a double step on it. They have a bigger entry handle to make coming and going a little bit easier, and another couple little neat things they do here. It's a friction hinge door so that the door won't fly open and smash the awning arm. The other thing they do, this Winnebago was one of the first ones to put these on their travel trailers actually, is the little slingshot, screenshot, whatever it's called, like basically fancy pants rubber band that closes the screen door automatically for you. Look at that. You actually just have to lean on it to close it. It doesn't just flip itself shut. Every year these guys get just a little bit sharper. I am extremely happy with what I'm seeing here. If you agree, give us a call. Doesn't matter where you live. These things are built less than an hour from our front door. We just don't pay huge shipping charges. So, especially folks who are willing to drive to come pick one of these up, you can save so much, because even your local backyard dealer, they have to pay tons of shipping money to get it there. Or we can put a shipping quote together for you. If you live a long ways away, some way or another it still has to get there. But if you come visit us here in Coldwater, it certainly doesn't cost you near as much. And if you're local, all the better. Now you don't have to worry about it at all. So, whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, we do it all at Haylett RV, but we don't do hidden fees. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Winnebago camping, everyone.